Yeah, well, I totally agree with you on that. It's only because now is that mentally you are preparing yourself to can journey through a fast. So during this fast now, you have to attach yourself to activity because you got to realize this command or this command is no longer in service for that time being. So to redirect this energy or this energy, your mind becomes occupied with opportunities. Mind naturally adjusts to based on how you want to move. If you already put in your mind that you're fasting, your mind is saying, we're fasting.
Uh-huh.
It's just up to you now to have the willpower and discipline to maintain the strength. That's it.
Yeah, and I think that as I see more results coming out during this time, that's the affirmation that I need to hold on to that discipline.
True, true.
Um,
Yeah, the
so
result.
yeah, and um, I'm
And
just excited about it.
oh yeah, you're excited. I was about to say it's the result, and the results of it is like you said, you're getting up in the morning, able to go exercise instead of coming home and eating. You're able to edit. That's the result.
Definitely. Yeah.
You remove literally. Think about it. You remove the eating or the drinking.
Hmm.
You remove that aspect and went straight to editing. So you going from exercise to editing all along this, you're treading the same path.
Yeah, and I was going through the video yesterday, which I found the clip I was looking for, and in that video, we talk about the importance of verifying information,
Okay, I remember that conversation.
right? And so,
Yeah,
we're talking things. It's like now, if people talk about fasting, I can talk to them. And I fasted before, but it hasn't been anything like this. But
right.
now I can talk to them with verifiable experience and
Exactly.
a point of view where I can bring value because it's not just what I saw on a video on YouTube or something that I
Right.
read about. Like, this is what happened with me, and this is what the results were from that. So now we can speak on it.
Right. You're able to explain a personal journey through experience and
Right.
being able,
Yeah.
huh? And being able to do so, it allows people to become one and connect with you based on what you've been through. And so a lot of times when people say you're paying me for my experience, a lot of people really got to take that to heart because your experience of fasting for 30 days while only consuming food and water during the darkest hours of the night, right? And during the daylight hours, the continents of your face is smiling. You're moving through your exercise and you're moving through your daily journey and even picking up additional things that are benefiting you along the way, right? Who can fathom in their right mind who's been eating and drinking food for just say 30 years of their life without any hesitation of stopping and saying, I'm not going to eat for days? Other than being placed in situations where you may not be able to get food because you're traveling or whatever, you're on a plane, whatever. That's excusable. I'm talking about having a mental perception of saying, I am denying my flesh any opportunity to satisfy itself because now I'm reflecting on my soul to bring forth who I am from within. To know thyself, right? And for someone to benefit from your experience through your verbal expression of it, your physical stamina from what you've been through, and your spiritual, just stoutness because you made it. You were able to say, hey, I was able to embark on a situation that came out totally beautiful. Those are experiences to be paid for.
No doubt.
Not too
And
many people can live that.
true. Um, and this is an ancient practice,
Yes.
and we need to um give it the respect and recognize like there's a reason why this has been done for centuries and centuries,
Yes.
because of what it does for the human.
Yes.
In all ancient wisdom, there's so much there. We always think that we're just, we're the tip of the progress,
Right.
that we know everything, but that's not the case. And we should be looking back to civilizations that have done things in the past, and that then we can find some of the answers that we're looking for.
Right. Well, I'm not a biblical man, but I will refer to Ecclesiastics. There's nothing new under the sun. What we're doing right now, what we're experiencing, already has been done. It just haven't been expressed in a way of education that we have today.
Uh-huh.
Right. But people were fasting, people were exercising, people were doing all the things that we're doing today. It's just that we get to say with clever words now.
Mm-hmm.
We get to do it in clever facilities with clever machines and clever technologies.
Uh-huh.
But if man decided to do push-ups and walk and maybe jog every day of his life, he'd be good.
Right. And we talk
Good.
about, yeah, like Ecclesiastes, when he says all is vanity.
All is vanity.
And it's these things that we think are so new, really going to change. It's the same things. It's
over and over.
Over and over. And it's people trying to do something to make themselves special, and like, look at me, look what we're creating, look what we're doing. But at the end of the day, a lot of that stuff just goes into the landfill.
Yeah, it all goes into the landfill.
Uh-huh. And what remains is the non-vanity, I guess.
What remains is the people who stand true to themselves, meaning that when you take away this flame and fortune, when you take away the gold and the glitter, I will still be here standing, being the same person, saying the same thing.
Yeah, right? We're not falling for it.
Yeah, that's the trick.
That is the trick.
That's the actual trick.
Yeah, and this is like we can extract this type of wisdom from that book, but it's all dependent on the person who's reading it.
Right. And not only reading, because that's a mental thing, but also it has to be on a physical level. What are you exerting from this spiritual knowledge that you're gaining, right? Like if for example, Jesus went up to Mount Zion and he began to pray. And he had two disciples with him and they fell asleep. And he said, "Hey, what little faith for you to come up here? I'm praying to the Father and you falling asleep." What I'm saying is they had the same opportunity to commune to the same God, but they chose a routine of sleep at a midnight hour where he chose to supplicate. Same example. You're choosing to refrain in drinking during the daylight hours, while most people are doing the exact opposite. I got some over there right now doing the exact opposite. My point, what I'm saying is that I have, along with countless of other people, the same opportunity as you to refrain my brain from consuming anything coming through this mouth. And not just coming in, though, Brian. Because we also got to refrain what comes out. Because a lot of us, we don't got to talk negative to the world. We beat our own self up. Man, I never amount to nothing. God damn it, why does shit always happen to me? Fuck if I'd have did that yesterday, right? So that too has to become a part of the fasting process as well. Because a lot of us think the intake is what keeps the discipline. No, it's what you bring out of yourself that you need to be able to control, be able to put into its proper context and leave it at that. But when we begin to digress and make things against ourselves, we throw arrows at ourselves. Man, I never amount to nothing. I wish I'd have did that. God damn, why he get to do it and not me? Those are all things of energy that's bringing us down. But a lot of us need to fast to be able to learn how to mentally understand these things, correct these things, and learn how to redirect what comes out of our mouth in a positive, direct manner for ourselves, not nobody else, for ourselves.
100%. And I had a friend that had shoulder surgery, and I talked to him the other day, and he was really bummed because shoulder surgery is brutal. The recovery time is long. You can't use your arm. And he was just really low and down. And I said, look, you're not fasting in a way where you're not eating, but take the perspective that your arm has to fast.
It's fasting, yes.
You can't use it, and you have to deal and accept that. There's no other option for you. Just imagine that, you're able to eat, but your arm can't move. And for the next 2 months, unfortunately, you're going to be slinged up.
Right.
And you just look at it like you're fasting. The arm is fasting.
It's funny that you say that. I was just watching this basketball player on Netflix. He messed up his Achilles tendon. You know what he did? He went and got a bar stool, sat at the free throw lines, and just shot free throws because he couldn't jump, he couldn't move. He got a bar stool, sat at the free throw line, and shot free throws. He went from an 87% shooter to a 97% shooter at the free throw.
Incredible.
And they asked him, they said, why did you do this? He said, I read somewhere before, but I don't know where to remember. I remember if one thing is hurting, make sure the other thing gets better. So he took an opportunity. He couldn't jump. So what did he do? He perfected his shot.
That's what it is. It's making the most out of every single opportunity, no matter what it is.
Exactly.
One of my favorite quotes is profit from everything. And we think of profiting in the sense of money and currency, but just profit, it could be, for yourself. And like, that's the way he profited his 10% rate on free throws.
On free throws.
That maybe he never would have got if he didn't break his ankle or
and that's it. Blew my mind because this is what he said. He says, if you look at how I came from college into the pros, he said my free throw percentage actually went down. He said because now I'm focusing on the game.
Mm-hmm.
But he said when it slowed me down, I went back to the basics.
There's such a good lesson there.
Listen to what he said. He went back to the basics. Most kids starting out, when you first starting out and playing basketball, what they do, they build your strength up by shooting free throws. He went back to the basics.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it improved his overall game. He said he can pull up anywhere on the court now with ease.
And it's another thing of being able to see everything as if that's what you need.
Exactly.
You don't understand why at the time it seems terrible, but that is what you need. And it's up to you to figure out how to, transmute it and profit from it.
And you took the energy, the mental energy of saying, damn, my ankle or Achilles tendon's messed up, and actually utilizing and stretching it for something different. Because how much worse it could have been, he'd been focusing on that, then he started drinking. Focus on that, start sniffing. Focus on that, start beating this woman up. Sure. There's a lot of things that go on with you being derailed from a positive mindset. Now you're into this negative mindset. And with this negative mindset, people who's been through this in the past, they have shown you, I beat on my woman when I was upset. I started drinking. I started doing drugs heavily. A lot of different things. The mind collapsed.
The mind collapsed. It can happen. And I was a little bit worried about my friend because, it's I could tell that his mind had collapsed, and it's just he needed support at that time. But going back to, what we were talking about before, the best support comes from those who are or have experienced what that person is going through, who can offer um,
And
something.
it's funny that you say that because it reminds me of what you said in one of our conversations late last year about how there were personal trainers in Los Angeles making $300 an hour, right?
Mhm.
This is what they don't get for 300. They just get somebody do this correctly, don't do that correctly. But the mental aspect of strengthening the mind, of giving somebody an opportunity to know, just say, for example, with your friend with the sling, with the example I gave with the guy with the Achilles tendons, these things happen. But look at the bounce backs.
Hmm. Hmm.
We have to focus on bounce backs because if we don't, we're going to retard the mind and go right back into what the normal society tells us to do. Be down on yourself. Be really hard on yourself. Somebody just took your position. You would never amount to be the person you were before. You know what I mean? So many countless things that we hear.
Focus on bounce backs.
Bounce backs.
Key.
Bounce backs.
Very key. Very key.
Very key. And focusing on bounce backs, you don't have to look at being successful. You just have to look at milestones at that point.
Uh-huh.
I think a lot of us attribute success as being made it as opposed to where you don't have to do nothing in life. But a lot of us don't take gratitude in the milestones that get us to where we need to be to say we're successful.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, even when in your own right, you could be considered successful, you don't even believe it yourself because you didn't even give yourself gratitude for the small milestones you made to make the big picture available for other people to see.
Right.
And so we penalize our own potential based on how we view ourselves.
Uh-huh. And um, speaking on ancient books as well, the Quran mentions gratitude continuously, over and over again. And one of the such a hard-hitting statement, it says that man is monstrously ungrateful. And when you think of uh, just that alone, how much, if someone could really absorb the weight of that, how much it could change their lives, no matter what the condition is. Man is monstrously ungrateful. So then it's like, oh, wow, okay, maybe that could be the source of my problems.
Well, and it will be the source of your problem because being monstrously ungrateful comes from the time you open your eyes and you don't give thanks to saying, God, I woke up another day. How ungrateful are you as a child of the Most High to don't give thanks for breathing, opening your mouth, touching, smelling, hearing?
Yeah. And
That's
that's the tone.
evil.
Yeah, and that's the tone. And people may say like, "Oh, it's a little bit authoritarian," but a lot of times we need that because we think that we know it all, or we think that we have the proper understanding. But you need someone kind of talking down, as it reminding you how wrong our thinking can be.
My grandfather used to say, every book has an author,
Every book has,
meaning that it's going to come to you the way the author is supposed to give it to you.
uh-huh,
Every book has an author. You don't have to like the book, but the author is not going to change what he's given to you. And
right.
that's why we have a lot of problems in this world based on what you said. You know what I mean? A lot of people are monstrously ungrateful based on that simple fact right there. You're looking for somebody to say, you know what, Brian? You're such a good guy. I really appreciate you for everything that you have done. But now, this same Brian doesn't take out the trash. It's just piled up over there for the last 3 months. This same Brian has a car that's been sitting in the driveway that haven't been moved, but he knows how to fix it, but won't fix it. But if I tell you, you know what, Brian, get off your fucking ass and go out there and take that goddamn trash out. It's been sitting out there too. Do it. You're more susceptible to move and get that done based on the way I said it. As Brian, you're a good guy, man. Whenever you get time, go get that trash.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's called chastisement.
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 Okay. Yeah, and a lot of time, if I guess we can now take that to workouts. You know,
Yes.
as a trainer, if I'm just saying, okay, we're just if you're being too lenient or you're too soft, there's like that balance where you have to sometimes push a little bit past their comfort zone, or be the authority, I guess you could say.
Well, as you being a trainer in what you do, you have to be the authoritarian, because if you don't, you allow someone to come into your space and be able to dictate how they want to work out. So if that's the case, they can do what they need to do where they're supposed to be at. You're coming here for Flow Dojo to give you correction
Uh-huh.
and direction.
Right. And there's a reason why you showed up.
Right.
And you could this is how it goes, and you can kind of take it or leave it. We hope that you take it, but if not, it's not my responsibility to make sure that you come back, really.
Right. No, because we're here.
Uh-huh.
We're not going nowhere. We're here.
Right.
You, on the other hand, need to figure out how to get back here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to create it this way, what's the breathing techniques, whatever may come with it, right? But what I'm saying is, now we're going to take them through the Flow Dojo experience. The first thing we need to do is explain the name.
Uh-huh.
Flow Dojo, right? Next, who are you? Why are you taking this road? How long you been on this road? What have you experienced on this road? And how you're able to transmute this experience to other people.
Mm-hmm.
We got to give them an experience.
Uh-huh.
And then from there, you could say, listen to what you're talking about. You know what I mean? You'll be suited best to tap the bag, because it seems like you need to control your breathing, but at the same time, use your mind to always stay working.
Yeah.
If they're artists, being that you're a drummer, this would be perfect for your stamina, because your shoulders to get stronger, which make you be able to stay up longer. But at the same time, the proficiency of your accuracy of tap into a beat, going back and forth, will also give you longevity.
Yeah, and remember what we talked about, like the checkups versus the intensives?
Yes.
And we even on that little itinerary, there was like a lot of the terms on there had kind of like this medical kind of little connotation to it.
Right.
After we speak to them, we go through our little survey, because even like if you go in a doctor's office, you fill out like your little survey.
Right, exactly.
Then we give them the prescriptions.
D.
And then that's like their plan. Like, we give them the prescriptions because
D.
and
D. Yeah, A, D. Because right. So once you fill out your survey, based on your survey, I should be able to come back and give you a prescription, not in a drug form, but in a mental form, a way you start exercise. You might need to just concentrate on sit-ups.
Yeah, it's a prescription for the intensive. Right?
You're on to something.
Let's go. And
you listen to Biggie Smalls?
Yeah.
Remember he said, I got a 10-step booklet?
No, I don't remember what the song that's from.
It's a song called the 10 Crack Commandments.
10 Crack Commandments. Yeah, I remember it.
And he gave the 10 rules to his booklet.
Okay, I'll have to check it.
That's your intensive right there. Where my other phone at? That's it. You're gifted, brother.
Thank you, sir.
You're very gifted on that one.
Thank you.
No. You're ahead of that. Prescription? Oh, hell no. That's deep. Hey, you know how deep that is? Because just think of the mind, right?
Uh-huh.
mentally on the mind, when you think of prescription, you're thinking of a medication that's being given to you to heal an ailment in your body. But now you're taking that same prescription and saying that I'm giving you a physical exertion
Uh-huh.
to heal whatever it is that may be affecting your sickness. For example, you may be obese.
Uh-huh.
I'm prescribing you now to walk with music in your ears on step 100 yards.
Yep.
Oh, 100 steps in yards. But what people are not understanding, not only you're walking 100 yards, I'm having you consciously pay attention to your steps on cadence, on beat, on step, which now is not only working your mind, was working your body. So now more is being exerted. That's the medication.
Uh-huh. These are real efforts.
Man, that's real deep.
And
You don't,
even
I don't even know if you know how deep what you talking about.
I mean, I think so. But because I would even say that going back to my friend with his arm in the sling,
Right.
he's unable right now, and he lives out of state, but he's unable to move physically. But my prescription to him was a perspective. How the arm is, he has to, the shoulder has to fast. Like it's not, it's out of his control. Like going over those things. So the prescription can be physical, but even with yourself, like you have the way, or the wisdom to give someone a prescription that changes their point of view without even moving if they're unable to move. A lot of times it's that just the perspective alone can heal someone.
I want you to go back and listen to this part
Uh-huh.
and and give that to your friend.
Ah, good call. Good call.
And do you text him?
Uh-huh.
Tell ailment, shoulder and sling,
Uh-huh.
prescription, right? Perspective. That's the prescription is perspective.
Uh-huh.
Now, under perspective, you have bullet points. And now, like you told him, change your the way you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe create a craft, whatever. But what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say to you is this: what you're on, if you create it in the physical form where people can read it, and that's going to be something that you translate to someone. This is what I'm trying to say is most people will relate to that because they're used to going into a doctor's office, filling out a thing, and then going to see the doctor and then getting a prescription. If you take that same model but flip it for an exercise program, right? Ailment, shoulder, prescription, perspective, medication, you need to find and create a craft or learn how it just say if it's on his right hand, learn how to write left-handed.
Yeah.
Give perspectives to that medication. Give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
You're on Canva. I would even get on camera and make it all fancy too. And make it like you know how they have the RX at the top and the line, the patient name, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, because you got to realize something. You're selling a brand.
Uh-huh.
You're representing a brand, right? If somebody was to grab a bottle and it said Tylenol, automatically they know this aspirin is going to hurt my headache. Automatically.
Uh-huh.
They see a bottle to say Pepto-Bismol. Automatically, they already know this is going to affect my stomach.
Uh-huh.
If they see a bottle say athlete's feet, they know all to know this is going to be applied to my feet to stop the itch and the burning. Flow Dojo. He's given a prescription of how to change perspective on what I'm going through with my ailment, with my shoulder.
Yeah. And perspective is one of the few things that is under our control. We control our perspectives.
Yes.
And we can change it, and we can't, with insights, that we can control that. A lot of stuff we can't, but that we can. We should be putting a lot more focus on it.
And even deeper than that, yes, we do control our perspective and we have the range to do so. But the world has taught me in my 55 years of living that a person like Brian who has that type of perspective is responsible for having changing the perspective of thousands of people who doesn't know how perspective even to perceive perspective, right? So in a nutshell, that's what I'm saying. You have to create what they already go through in a doctor scenario, but making the same thing and just put the brand Flow Dojo on it. And the same thing, your ailment is a slower and a sling. My medication is perspective. And here's how you use it.
Love it. Fantastic. Another thing that just came to mind is working with perspective is very similar to active listening. Because a lot of times, again, we talk about passive listening, we have passive perspectives.
Never looked at it like that.
Me either.
He said, me either.
We need to have these active perspectives. It pulls us out of the mechanical, habitual ones.
Right.
And it's the same thing when listening. It goes into the effort and the work to do it. If it was automatic, we wouldn't a lot of times have these problems. But it takes that step of activity to listen as well as shift the perspective.
Okay, now under perspective, that's part of the medication.
Sure, definitely.
And that's and so when you go back after you put perspective of medication, and then you look, how like dosage, right? Dosage is smile, or what you just said, like, you know what I mean? I forgot exactly what you said, but those are the dosages that you take throughout the day.
Yep.
To change your perspective.
100%.
To give you an outlook that was actually within.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Daily dosages.
Daily dosage. That's what you say. So you say sling, medication, perspective, daily dosage.
Boom.
And then you start listing all these different things.
It's great.
And you send it to him. You know how I would look up on Canva, you know how they have doctor prescription things like that. I would send it to him just like that, because the perception of what he's receiving already automatically knows that he's in a situation where he's ailing. So if it comes on a medication, format, or what it looks like, is easily to accept that, because it's coming to familiarity terms.
Yeah.
My mind is moving 100 miles an hour. I'm trying to slow down to say what I want to say, and it's hard.
You're right. No, same. And we take that, I'll go through Canva, find like a medical symbol, but then like you put a little style on it.
Yeah.
And you spice it up. You put it up with the Flow Dojo flair on a medical thing, and make it our own, really.
That's my whole point. And so what I'm saying is, you talking about trying to build a nation before you have a friend.
And we hear a lot about, the importance of the collective in community, but it's only important if it's the right collective in the right community.
And I've learned, especially doing the social media stuff, what I've really learned, that to build a community, you really have to have individual communication.
Uh-huh.
That's what builds a community.
100%.
When I have individual communication with you and we establish that, and then I have individual communication with Lane and we establish that, then you meet Lane, then you have individual conversation with Lane. See, that's what builds a community. I can't say I know Flow Dojo, I know Lane, I know Tafari, I know Ozzy, but then I'm dealing with you. You know none of these people. We don't have a community.
Right.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
A community is when everybody's networking to where the energy's flowing so many different ways. There's nothing that we can miss.
Sure. And it also it builds like I want to say defense, but it's almost like a security, for when the piranhas come to feed as
right.
like we need backup and people that are also on our team that can support if for whatever reason we hit some turbulence.
Exactly.
And that could be people, it could be whatever, but the tighter and stronger that initial group and circle is, like the more secure I feel
Exactly.
to put out whatever I want to put out and not worry
Exactly.
about anybody else.
Right. Because two things that happen. One, you have honest support, and then two, you have honest accountability. Like for me, man, I'm gonna support you, but if I'm really supporting you, I'm gonna hold you accountable to things that I feel, hey, you might have crossed the line there. No, I don't. That might not be too good on. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean about the accountability part.
Uh-huh.
A lot of us, we befriend a lot of us so far and so deep that where you do something wrong, I can't even tell you you're doing nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, we don't have a community. We just have some. We're benefiting off each other when we see fit.
It's community and counsel. And that's very rare.
Community and counsel.
Community and counsel. And that keeps it keeps everybody on their toes because no one wants to be called out by anybody else. But when you are called out for something that you can confirm needed to be called out upon, you're protected. And it's like it's the community and counsel.
It's community and counsel. But a community and counsel is also a community that's going to continue to develop and grow and being able to explore different opportunities at any given time because we are a community and we're counseling one another.
And we can explore with more freedom because we got some people that are I don't know how, but I feel like it gives you more creative freedom when you have people around you that are kind of looking out.
Right. No, I get it. Having that support team.
Yep.
Having people
in one of those same recordings I was going through, you talked about the difference between the are you giving an objective? Is it a directive or for the collective?
Right.
And a lot of times, I think, especially in business, people only want to be the ones giving directives.
Giving directives.
When really, if they were consulting the collective, the results would be better for the entire organization.
And it would happen much sooner.
And sooner, yeah. Sometimes it could happen immediately, but they sit and they're trying to figure it out themselves. And then when they finally bring it out, this other stuff has happened. But to know, all right, because I run this house, right? If something comes up, I immediately just put it on the group text.
Right.
It's everybody. You guys figure it out. You're
exactly.
Exactly. It's not really, this isn't on me. What do you guys want to do about this? It's a group collective thing, but it takes so much of the pressure off.
Right. Because now you're not sitting there being the sole responsible participant. You have different people able to give different ideas, objectives, perspectives.
Uh-huh.
And the collective now comes into play to where, the best decision made based on what I hear here with this person, this would probably be the best way.
Yeah, and the person that wants to and I've been guilty of this, but the person that wants to give directives wants to do everything themselves. Like it's all on. It's there's a lot of there's a lot of ego involved, and it's like they want to be the guy. They don't want anybody else to try to take the throne or whatever they may be. Like,
Yeah.
they want to be that person. They don't want anything from the outside coming on their decisions. But
They,
I don't
they,
think
they,
anyone is that smart to know everything, always what to do in every single aspect of something.
I was just telling my kids the other day, I was like, the richest man in the world got a team.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't come rich by himself.
Mm-hmm.
He's the face of being rich.
Uh-huh.
He
Yeah.
has a team that made him rich.
Yeah.
Believe Bill Gates didn't get rich by himself. He
Yeah.
had a collective team of people who knew their role, their title, and their responsibilities and got the shit done. He was just happened to be the face of it.
No doubt. No doubt. And there's one like allegory of like we're in this mental prison. We're to emancipate yourself from the mental slavery,
Slavery, right.
you need other people that have done it before. Like if it's no one can escape prison without someone else like knocking the I don't know like there's like a way that when the prisoners escape, everyone has to work together.
Right.
And if the goal or the aim is to escape out of prison, you need a little collective that this person does this person does that. He's looking out for this thing. Like, it's like there's an organization to it.
Right. And the last person in the line of helping the guy get out doesn't even know what the first person doing.
Yeah, because he doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to. And that's the problem with people in the world right now. We are looking at situations where I need you to do this, and you're concerned about what that person's doing. It doesn't affect you.
It doesn't affect you. Just do your job.
Do what is told to do, and that's it. When you're worried about what Brian has to do, then you want to know what Marvin has to do. By the time it gets to you, you forgot what to do.
Right. Yeah, that's wow. There's so much to learn from that, but it's so true.
Man, I mentor youth every morning from 16 to 25 years old. And what I've learned about that is individualism.
Uh-huh.
They're all willing to get ahead by putting all their fellow students underneath them.
Mm-hmm.
None of them realize if they all work together, they'll be stronger than the capacity of the situation itself. And what gives me power over all of them is that they don't work together.
Uh-huh.
So I'm able to conquer and divide and conquer.
Yeah.
But collectively, if they all knew who did what they were supposed to do at all the given times, I couldn't say anything to them.
Right. And that strong individualism grows if they would work together. Like they're stifling their own individualism.
Right. And at that age, most of them don't feel that they should be taking orders from somebody else.
Well, they'll just have to mature, and if they don't do it on their own, life will put something on their plate that will either force them to.
Unfortunately, I'm dealing with people my age, and they haven't learned that. So I know for a fact that it's going to be hard for them to get it. Some of them may get it, but the collective, no, because why? They're all individuals. There's a 16-year-old boy. His name is Riley. I've been on the planet 3.5 times his age, meaning that he's 16. 16, 32, 48. I've been here 2 times, 48. I've been here 2.5 ages of his age, if that makes sense. Riley thinks at 16 he knows more than Marvin.
Yikes.
And I was telling him this morning, I was like, listen, son, at 16, you don't know nothing.
Right, 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 right. He's a
And the
baby.
stuff, and the stuff you're telling me, I done heard from my own kids. So you're doing the same thing they're doing. So
Yeah.
bottom line, what I try to tell the young all the time is that what you think you don't know shit.
Yeah, and that's a major part of growing up is realizing that you don't. You know, if you think you do, you don't. And if you think you don't, you might know something. Yeah, like
Man, and even that's a challenge.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't like now that I'm older and I look back at how I grew up. There's no need to lie. I lied a lot growing up, thinking I'm getting myself out of trouble. I lied myself into so many frenzies. It's crazy.
Yeah,
There's no need to lie about anything on this earth. Now that I'm older, I'm realizing it's nothing to lie about.
you get caught up in your own schemes if you start lying. Like it's the dumbest thing.
It's the stupidest thing.
It's the same thing as like doing bad. Like if you just do good and don't lie, like there's all your potential worries are gone.
Out of there.
Most worries come from, oh, I did something wrong. Are they going to get me? Or like, is this going to happen? That can happen. Or, oh, I
Yep.
said this. Maybe they'll find out that I didn't mean it. Like,
Yeah, now you're ducking and dodging.
right. And how much effort and stress and anxiety does that put on the organism that's lying and doing bad all the time? You know, you're just, it's not the right thing. Do good, tell the truth. Sometimes we make mistakes, of course, but like in the main, if you could just do good, tell the truth, and there's a handful of others. For the most part, you'll be good. Like you'll be okay.
Man, hey man, like telling the truth and doing good, that makes the body well.
Yeah, there's a lot to that. Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
completely agree. Because um, the sensations of the body are some of the truest things we can have available to us.
Yeah, that's why they say, oh, I had a hunch. Oh, my intuition. I had
Yep.
a feeling.
Yes.
Why do when things happen, all the relationships that we have to that situation refers to the body?
Right. 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 Gut feeling.
Gut feeling.
Uh-huh.
I had a hunch. I
Uh-huh.
was thinking about that. I
Yeah.
remember somewhere I seen that. It's always dealing with something in the body.
Uh-huh.
Why?
Because as you said in one of the recordings, it's our first form of security,
It's the conduit to the world.
the conduit to the world. Yeah,
It's your first line of defense.
it is the first line of
It's your
defense.
first mechanism of operation.
It's the interface.
It's the interface. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the login.
Yep, yep. Sure is. Wow. And that's such a good point to hit on, to even to start off the intensive with. Why are you all here? Because the body is the interface to the world. And we got to be in tune with it. And whether maybe that's just we start off how we start off the intensive with just a little body scanning exercise meditation.
Exactly.
Let's just feel our feet. Let's feel our hands. Let's feel the beating of the heart, shoulders, the whole nine. You run through the whole body, and then they almost forget they have a body.
Exactly. Because now they're gonna be like, whoa.
Yeah, like exactly. So I think that would be an excellent way to set the tone for the day. You start it off. It's just a sitting body scan, and then we'll get going. But like that is a fantastic set off for
I
the day.
agree. I agree.
It'll be the most uh, people will be seeking out the intensive.
I agree. 100%.
You know, um,
And it's time.
it is time. It is time.
It's time.
Yeah,
It's time.
and it just that's it. It's time. Like it's not behind. It's not early. It's just right on time.